Hero's Hour. Hero's Hour shows how compelling and fun the Heroes of Might and Magic formula can be when a developer gets the core mechanics right. It takes a little time to get used to the real-time battles and the limited direct control, but the formula works well and delivers interesting choices and solid challenges. Magic is so much fun and strategic in this and actually makes your hero units feel like the proper powerful beasts that they would have to be in order to exert control over an army of dragons, cyclops, and whatever else. If you like Heroes of Might and Magic, this is for you. Fuga Melodies of Steel 2. If you have not yet played the original Fuga, then I highly recommend you start with that game before playing this one. Fuga 2 is incredibly story-focused and is a direct continuation from the events of the first game. The worst thing you can say about the gameplay is that it's almost completely identical to the first game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you enjoyed the previous game, then you'll appreciate the extra features and rebalanced combat system that keeps the game interesting. What I love is most that each of these new features feel like such a natural extension to the game. Across the Obelisk. Wonderful game that keeps you wanting to play just one more battle before bedtime. Obelisk is slightly overwhelming at first, just due to all the content that is available, and not really knowing what you're doing. But once you get rolling, you roll as a true roguelike. The more you play, the stronger you will be, and then you can explore hundreds of different deck combinations and strategies. Truly a wonderful deck builder that I recommend to anyone that enjoys these types of games. Oh, and play with friends. It's a blast. Mechabellum. Mechabellum is quite good, very well balanced for an auto-battler. The visuals are reminiscent of Supreme Commander, to the point where I kinda hope that this is a jump-off for something similar. It's just so cool to see these large robots duke it out. Few units, but it feels like enough. Pretty good at having to counterpick new units per wave. You never know if spamming overlords will work, or if you should have mass crawlers. Overall, it's quite a lot of fun, and you should try it out. Darkest Dungeon 2. Let me make this clear. It's nothing like Darkest Dungeon 1. Heroes are expendable, and the story is not quite as clear-cut. But it is an extremely well-done roguelike experience. Randomized regions and items, tough enemies, and a good progression system that rewards how far you made it. Great new 3D-based flat render graphics with super nice animations while keeping the great original style. A lot of love went into this game clearly, but it's nothing like the first game.
End.
Wildfrost. The game is tough, and your deck needs to have solutions for every situation. Deck building is much more complicated than just filling your deck up, with matching keywords/synergies, and winning the run on sheer power. It's worth noting that all of the battles in each run are interesting rather than the filler battles, which many similar games feature. If you like strategy roguelike deck builders and want a challenge, you don't want to miss this. Cassette Beasts. This is a very cute and very fun game. It plays a lot like Pokemon, with capturing critters and using them to fight with you. But it has several extra systems added on, such as fusions and the health of the person using the beast. The bosses are eerie and spooky and look so out of place, and I found it extremely fun and well made. The Last Spell. Alright, after 80 hours of gameplay of the highest autistic order, I can safely say The Last Spell is brutal to the point of sheer retardation, and in the tactics genre, this is straight up the most brutally difficult that I've ever played. Fantastic soundtrack, amazing feedback and feel, despite being pixel art game. You really feel the impact of the weapons and spells, both that of your heroes and your enemies. But nonetheless, if you like strategy, turn-based combat with lots of action to do in one turn, and lots of enemies on screen at once, and rogue-like elements, I highly recommended this game for you. Chained Echoes. It's become no secret that indie developers are starting to make excellent games in genres and styles that are associated with a company or country, and Matthias Linda and his team have shown that there is now no excuse for indies to not deliver excellent JRPG. The gameplay is fantastic, with a nice mechanic that makes even basic battles more challenging and boss encounters requiring some thought and not just spamming your strongest moves, best buffs and debuffs, and healing. The roster size and skill system allows for experimental and flexible gameplay. It's also well-paced and doesn't overstay its welcome. Octopath Traveler 2. As I progressed through the game, I found myself becoming so invested in the characters and their backstories. It's been a while since I felt this way for a game. The voice acting was amazing and only added more to the well-written script.
Prepare yourself.
What really stood out to me, though, was the breathtaking soundtrack, which somehow managed to evoke a sense of nostalgia for me. If you're really not sure whether you'd like the game, you should play the demo. It's 3 hours, and the save carries over to the full game. Give it a try.
Feel my wrath. Impart your wisdom, Halifax. Found a weakness.
Thank you for watching this video. Stay close by subscribe this channel. I really happy if you leave a thumbs up and give some advice by comment below. See you in the next video.